Hello there, welcome to another episode of World of Tanks from Gainy Titan. We're on Prokhorovka and I'm on the M41 Walker Bulldog. It is one of the games that I had leading up to its becoming elite. And then I've transferred the crew to the AMX Chaffee where I've been completing the current skill. And I'm going to have a bit of a rant because I've been playing, well, in my recent games, insofar as that I've been playing as often as I used to have. Various reasons. Haven't played a lot of World of Tanks actually in the past month, but I've been having a good few games, and those games, a lot of them have been on light tanks. And recently, the recent games on light tanks have, well, scouting hasn't been of much fun or much use. You spot tanks, and nobody seems to shoot them. I mean, I was watching a game there in Prokhorovka where I spotted 11 tanks and nobody shot any of them at all. I don't think I got any assisted damage in that game. I still finished up with a second class mastery. I did like 1500 points of damage or something before I died. But any points that I got, any experience I got was because I shot stuff myself with my own little pew gun. In fact, I'm coming to the conclusion that the binoculars and camo net is actually a waste of time, that I'm better off with vents and coded optics, because I find myself active scouting while being spotted more often than I am passive scouting, a bit like I'm doing here, because you get up and you get spotted. The thing about those locations on the bushes is that you have to kind of get there before the light tanks get at the centre, and the current way people are playing, the light tanks immediately go for the centre. And they just spend their time running up and down the centre of the map until they get shot. Or they lose their temper and they drive over the top after somebody that shot them and they die. But one way or the other, it's not a terribly effective use, I think, of a light tank's time. Poking the ridgeline is a job for heavy tanks and mediums, and I think more for mediums. The heavy tanks like that Gruniach should be sitting down at the bottom of the ridgeline, trying to avoid being shot at by people like me, and wait for the enemy tanks to come over the top and shoot them then. Somebody will eventually lose their patience. And they have changed this map to prevent camping at the rear, but I don't think it's worked. It's just made the camping ineffective, because now the guys in the rear are too low down to shoot anybody you spot across the ridgeline. All of this means, though, is that if you're in a light tank, you've got to go and make your own fun. And since I moved the crew over to the AMX Chaffee, I seem to be in bottom tier as well in most games. So it's even double the work, because you spot loads of tanks and nobody shoots them, or they don't shoot them as much or as effectively as they used to. Or it seems to be other light tanks to shoot them. Like you get something like 14 assisted damage ribbons, but it amounts to like 900 points of damage. You kind of go, what are we shooting at them? It's probably your fellow light tanks. Everybody else is at the back and they can't see a damn thing. So, the life of a light tanker. Not the fun it used to be. Well, I suppose I could stick to the lower tiers and go around in the Locust and stuff like that and just seal the club. But, you know, that can get old pretty fast too. We have to have a bit of a challenge. We're going to make a run on the Scorpion. The other thing I suppose that seems to be increasingly common is teams are clustering. They're limbing training and not covering the map evenly or defending bottlenecks and stuff like that. They're just hanging together in a little cluster, a little knob of tanks at one side of the map and tend to surrender most of the map to the enemy team. Don't understand that mentality either. Seen a lot of it on maps like Prokhorovka or Tundra, where practically half the team will go up one side of the map and ignore the objective, ignore the enemy team. Doesn't matter if somebody spots 3/4 of the enemy team on the other side of the map. Everyone will toddle along their little predetermined path to defeat. Don't know. I suspect that I was a bit spoiled when I started. There was a lot of players that were still on the had been on the beta test and they actually understood how the game worked. So you got a more consistent pattern of play, whereas certainly in the last year and a half, maybe 2 years tops, but there seems to be a new wave of players every 2 to 3 months, and I don't know if any of them are lasting long enough to actually learn how to play the game properly, and for that matter, are they even watching YouTube videos? I don't know how the other World of Tanks YouTubers are going. I know the Beard guys are doing pretty well, but they're not covering World of Tanks to the same extent. Now, I haven't been watching them to the same extent either. I've been watching other stuff in YouTube. I haven't been watching World of Tanks stuff, so I haven't been kind of keeping up to date with the latest. So I thought I did pretty well there. I got around the 110. I thought it was a very good distraction, and I didn't get distracted by the 2 artillery that popped up. That was one of my favourite ways of getting killed previously with a light tank, is I'd see artillery and I would forget about what I was doing and go after them. But I don't lose my shiny what do you call it, lack of attention span, because now it's about to crop up as I come out from the lake without drowning myself, pop over the top, spot that panther that was shooting at me at the top and think, oh, I'll go for him, completely forgetting that the 110 is still alive behind me. And he then reminds me of the fact that that's the case. Now, he didn't do him any good because somebody else shot him. It was bound to happen. So, there are now 2 tanks remaining. Both of them separated sufficiently far. Like, I'm not sure if that Panther can see the VK4502. He'd be just at the edge of his render range, I would say. That's been always a feature of World of Tanks, of course, these tanks sitting in the furthest corner of the map, in a little hidey hole where they only pop out at the very end. It's sometimes I suppose it does them a bit of good, but this particular occasion, not really. There's so many artillery and tank destroyers and long range guns in play that as soon as he's spotted, he's going to take an awful punishment. And pretty much everyone knows where he is, although somebody keeps thinking that he's further forward than he is. He's not. He's up there on the top, right there. And there we have it. That's a lot of incoming. And any moment now, yep, that's it, all over. So, how do we do? Well, we won anyway, and we did pretty well. We didn't make any money. I think I used every consumable I had. I got a first class mastery, 2k damage, 1500k assisted damage. I can't complain except about my distraction. So that Panther seems to come forth by experience, and I'm coming to the conclusion actually there's quite a lot of experience to be got for surviving. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please consider giving it a like. If you have not already done so, please consider giving the channel a subscription, and I will catch you all again soon.